While the central question of the trial centers on whether the defendant was sane at the time of the shooting, today on day 4 of testimony, we're hearing from Boulder police at the scene that day when they learned one of their own officers, Eric Talley, had been killed.
I realized that we had lost one of our own, and I had made the decision that I was probably going to lose my own life too. I thought about my child, and that I may never see him again.
Denver 7's Colette Bordelon joins us live with the latest on the trial.
And Colette, officers were aware of the danger inside that store that day.
It's truly striking to hear from the people who ran toward the gunfire and inside the store. But over and over again, they'll tell you it's just their job. So on Monday, we heard from the 2 officers who first went inside the store alongside fallen officer Eric Talley. Today, we're hearing from the second wave of law enforcement inside the store. For many of them, it was a normal, even unremarkable day before the call went out around 2:30 of an active shooter at King Soopers. One witness, a park ranger who responded, said anyone with a firearm and a ballistic vest was racing to the store that day. At the time, the information coming from dispatch was that this could be 1 to 3 shooters. The shooter could have even fled, and there might have been bombs at the store. The second group of law enforcement that went inside the store, they were quickly under fire. The glass above their heads was shattering. In the few moments before the gunfire, they noticed an officer was down. Now, one of those officers in the group, Richard Steidel, he was the one who actually yelled, "There's an active shooter, we need to go in now." He saw the shooter pop out of an aisle during that first bit of gunfire, and he waited.
Gunman in the back of the store emerged again, and at that point, I shot maybe 5 to 10 rounds down the aisle.
Did you think at that point that you'd hit him at all?
No. After that, the suspect in the back of the store disappeared again. I lost sight of him. There was a lull. It felt like forever sitting there waiting. I then gathered my thoughts and looked around, and I was like, man, I'm in a bad spot right now. I should probably get up and find some cover.
Steidel did end up hitting the defendant in the thigh, and a Broomfield sergeant who was inside the store saw the defendant approach them. He had taken off all of his clothing besides his underwear. He was bleeding out of his leg. He came up and surrendered. The district attorney quick to ask that witness if the defendant was responding to the commands of officers without hesitation, and he was. Guys.
Colette, we've noticed each day the defense really isn't cross-examining the majority of these witnesses.
And that's normally their chance to poke holes in the prosecution's argument, but very little of that so far. So, Colette, why do you think that is?
There could be a handful of reasons why they're not doing that, but they did actually cross-examine one witness today. Many of these first witnesses, they're setting the scene. They're explaining to the jury what was happening, but one of them in there who was cross-examined this afternoon did say the shooter looked determined and focused at the time. Defense attorneys quick to say she might not have gotten a clear look at that shooter. So that's really what they're going to narrow in on, is the mental health, the psychological role of this, because remember that central question, whether or not he was sane at the time of the shooting. But on a break, the jury wasn't in the room. I did hear one of those defense attorneys speaking with their client. She was saying things like, "You're doing good, we'll be done at 5, prepping him for the little bit of video and surveillance we did see here near the end of the afternoon. The tone she was using was that you might use to speak with a young child. We're back tomorrow morning. We'll hear that they might show some of the evidence they collected at the scene that day. Live in Boulder, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
We appreciate you being there, Colette. Thank you.